So I first got into craft beer when I started homebrewing when I turned 21. At the time, the only craft beer I really liked was Real Ale and Breckenridge. The first beer I ever homebrewed was a pale ale. It tasted awesome at the time, but given I was really excited about homebrewing, I feel that it probably was extremely terrible. My biggest homebrew fail is actually a recent fail. It's a two-part fail. So my wonderful wife bought me a stir plate, and I did not have a real good concept of how to do yeast starters, and I exploded a yeast starter on our counter, and then I exploded a carboy about 6 foot up a wall in our house. So needless to say, it's a two-part fail. Oh, my biggest fail before that, one of my best friends, I got my best friend Richard Moravitz into homebrewing, and we started doing using vanilla or coffee in beer, and a little bit goes a long way in beer. And so we got 3 pounds of coffee beans, and a term that's called dry hopping, which means that you add it into secondary fermentation. We added 3 pounds of coffee beans into secondary fermentation, and it was extremely hard to drink after a year of sitting, to the point we just poured it out. My favorite style of craft beer right now, I would have to say, I do really like stouts and porters and IPAs. I do like that. I also have sort of what set me going and to really exploring more craft beer is the sour styles, lambic, goes, framboise. My favorite craft beer experience actually is a recent experience. We got to go to Swansea Day at Jester King, which Cantillon, for those who don't know, Cantillon is a 100-year-old brewery in Brussels, owned by the Van Roy family. I'm not 100% sure on their names, but it's a family-owned brewery. A dad passed it down to his son. The brewer now has a son. He's 15. And he's going to pass it down to his son. They only brew for about 5 months out of the year, and they're still able to distribute their beer all over the world. It's very highly sought after, and that was actually a very amazing experience. And most of the time, things like that with me, I get let down when I get the beer because it's just not as good as I thought it was, and this was not that way. Texas has some very funky laws with regards to if you want to sell beer in Texas, you're going to need to bring in 1,000 cases if you're an out-of-state brewery or an import brewery. So some of the Brewers Alliance got together, the Texas Craft Brewers Alliance got together and paid for all of Cantillon's fees. And Cantillon is going to try and get us 1,000 cases a year. So this is the first time it's ever been sold in Texas. Up until then, there was you could get it ways. It's not exactly legal ways, but you could get it. But this is the first time it's been legally sold in Texas.
What is the malted liquor? What gets you drunker quicker? What comes in bottles or in cans?
Beer!
Can't get enough of it.
Beer!
How we really love it.
Beer!
Makes me think I'm a man.
Beer!
I could kiss and hug it,
Beer!
but I'd rather chug it.
Beer!
Cut my belly out to here.
Beer!
I could not refuse it.
Beer!
I could really use it. Beer, beer, beer.
Beer, 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 beer.